So I'm pretty sure y'all heard about the online community that has turned what was once known as just self-improvement into something that's just completely toxic, bruh. I'm pretty sure y'all heard of this community, right? They obsess over every facial feature, and it's ruining the lives of and the self-esteem of young men and women. And we gotta talk about this, bruh. So if y'all didn't know, we are talking about the Looksmaxxing community. And I feel like it's important that we define what Looksmaxxing is first before we even get into anything. I'm gonna give you my definition. Looksmaxxing is the obsession of maximizing your physical attractiveness based on a set standard. And that standard is just extreme and it's just too much, bro. And it's just not doing anything except ruining people's self-esteem, especially young people, like young men and young women. And kids. This is getting to kids, bro. Kids are trying to looksmax. What are we doing? Looksmaxxing is split into two categories. There's like a soft maxing, going to the gym, things like that. Soft maxing is the healthier, more realistic, real version of looksmaxing. Bro, I hate even saying these words, but this is the community, bro. This is what they do. These words come from this community. And then we have hard maxing, where that's the drastic changes. And we're talking about getting potential surgeries, fillers, for mewing, whatever. Just all that, doing intense stuff just to maximize your physical attractiveness according to a certain standard. It's crazy. Now, on the surface, this may just sound like self-improvement to you, right? But it definitely, it's gotten into so much more that you can't just call it that no more. It's not just regular self-improvement like me. Back in the day, you were trying to self-improve. You just hit the gym, go for a run, eat healthy. Now we're talking about getting jawline fillers, doing specific drugs and crazy stuff that should not be a part of the self-improvement journey. Now, we have to make it known that this looksmaxing originated in the incel community. I feel like that's important to note because it shows in the intensity and drasticness of what looksmaxing is, of how this originated in the incel and the black pill communities. And then it migrated into TikTok and YouTube shorts, and now everybody's trying to looksmax. And the algorithm doesn't help. The algorithm rewards this type of extreme content, right? So that's why it's getting pushed, because the algorithm, they like that because it's extreme, so it warrants reactions and it warrants engagement because of how extreme it is. And that's why it's getting promoted and pushed so much. That's why like this brutal honesty and face ratings and you're cooked if you don't look a certain way. That's why that type of stuff is getting pushed, because the algorithm likes that stuff. And the people engage with it because of how extreme and radical it is. It's a science to all this stuff. That's why certain content gets pushed and certain content does not get pushed. So the internet isn't just creating and promoting self-improvement content. It's doing something far worse. It's turning insecurity into people's entertainment. And I feel like that's a bad way to go about things, bro. Now, let's get into this ranking system and now how big of a problem this is, that we are ranking human beings, which is just insane to think about. I know we've all probably done this with our friends or something. We rank who's a baddie, who's not. But it's not good to do. But in the way that this looksmaxxing community is doing it, it's way worse. They're literally using face rating systems on a 1 to 10 scale. They got different language like chads, and it's just too much, bro. Like giga chads and whatever y'all are saying in this community, bro. What are these terms? You can tell that this was made by the incel community, bro. What are these terms? We're literally calling people subhumans. What are we doing? Can we just, like I said, hit the gym, go for runs, eat healthy? It's not that hard. We don't have to do all this other stuff. We don't have to rank people. We don't have to call people subhumans. Calling somebody a subhuman is absolutely insane. What are we doing with our lives? And my biggest problem is ranking human beings isn't a way to promote self-improvement. It's a way to dehumanize people. Because you're reducing somebody to numbers. That's all you're doing, is reducing somebody to a number if you're ranking them. And that's a form of dehumanization, whether you know it or not. We're not products on a shelf. You can't just rank somebody as they're not a number that you put far on the shelf because they're not a giga chad and they're a subhuman, so they get far. It don't make no sense. And it shouldn't be the case because, like I said, it's dehumanization. It is. A lot of what the looksmaxxing community promotes is a lot of stuff that's based on myths and false truths. Like saying how mewing improves your jawline structure. So you're saying if I do like that for 30 days straight, I'll have a good jawline? Come on, bro. Can we be serious here? Can we actually be serious here? Because first of all, for the people that are falling for this and believing this, come on, bro. You cannot be that insecure about yourself to where you're believing somebody online telling you to mew for 30 minutes a day and then you'll have a good jawline. Come on, bro. You can't believe stuff like that. And for the people promoting it, what are the Looksmaxxing community? Why is this? What are we doing? Because saying that mewing improves your jawline structure if you do that every day, can you please be serious? Can you please be completely serious? Everything that is being said in these communities, you can just tell that it was made by the incel people, bro. You can tell. It shows in how they're behaving in this community. And then they got random people that they're referring to as experts that are ranking these people online. Who are they? What are these experts and what do they do? Come on, bro. What are you such an expert in that you can tell me that I'm less of a human, or you can give me a number on how attractive I am based on your standard? What type of expert can do that? I don't think there's any expert in the world that can tell you how attractive you are on a number scale. You can't do that. There's no set standard for attractiveness, and it's definitely not your standard because you're an expert. Come on, bro. It's just crazy what is going on in these communities, and people are falling for it. This community wouldn't still be existing if people weren't buying into it. People are buying into this community, so we're just giving it a platform, which is why the algorithm is pushing it, because people are buying into it and engaging with it. So it's not just the community that's bad, it's the people that are engaging with the community. We shouldn't be giving them no attention at all. A lot of what Looksmaxxing pseudo-scientific false truths disguised to make people sound smart when really they're just insecure. And they were insecure about themselves before, so they had to do a bunch of stuff. Jawline fillers, like that boy clavicular, or clavicle, however you say his name. Come on, bro. Did he add jawline fillers? Bro is on crazy drugs. Bro could die any day. Facts. He could die any day. And people are buying into what he has to say. Lock in with life, bro. Please. Now, for a more serious part of this, and how Looksmaxxing is damaging people's mental health. You're constantly comparing yourself to other people. And when you're constantly comparing yourself, y'all probably heard the saying, comparison is the thief of joy, right? And that's just the baseline of that. Because when you're constantly comparing yourself, you constantly feel like you're not worth nothing. You constantly feel like, man, who am I if I don't look like that? As a man, you should not be comparing yourself to other men saying that I want to look like that. You should be confident with your own appearance, right? And Looksmaxxing is promoting the opposite of that. Looksmaxxing is promoting, hey, if you look like me, or if you look like this guy, then that means you're attractive. Which is a whole nother weird thing. Compare yourself to other guys, trying to look like other guys. That's just, as a guy, I feel like that's insane. That's something that should not be happening. You should not be saying, I want to look like him. No, bro, no. And then, in doing this, you're focusing on your flaws, and you're saying your flaws are what make you unattractive, right? We all have flaws. We all have physical flaws and things like that. But your physical flaws is what makes you, right? You shouldn't want to completely erase that, right? Or surgically erase that. If you have a physical flaw, you think you're overweight, right? You shouldn't just be insecure and just compare yourself to other people. You should put in the work to make sure that you're not overweight. Right? You shouldn't be trying to look for surgeries and engaging with the Looksmaxxing community because you feel like you're overweight and you don't fit society's standards. That's not what you should be doing, bro. And Looksmaxxing, when you buy into this, you're really losing confidence in yourself rather than gaining it, which is what they make it seem like you're doing. You're not gaining confidence. You're losing confidence in your real self by trying to gain confidence in something that's not really you. And that's facts. And that was a bar. I'm spinning right now. And then you get to doom scrolling all this black pill, incel content onto YouTube Shorts and TikTok, thinking, man, if I keep watching all this stuff, I'll finally look like them. I kind of get to be like them. No, bro. Lock in. Please. That's not the way to get the life that you want. Look how you want. And you should want to look how you want. You should want to look like the best version of yourself, not like somebody else. That should not be the goal, to look like somebody else. And that's your goal. You need to reevaluate who you are and reevaluate your goals, bro. That shouldn't be it. And then the biggest lie that they promote in this community is that if I look like this, then my whole life will change. If I look like this person, if I look like this guy, or even for girls, because there's some girls in this too. If I look like her, my whole life will change. No, your looks do not determine your lifestyle. For some people, actually, that might not. They might. That might be the case, but for most people, your looks will not determine your lifestyle. Come on, bro. You changing how you look is not gonna make your whole life better. It's not gonna get you money. It's not gonna get you the lifestyle you want. It's not gonna get you the house you want. It's not gonna get you the cars you want. Just because you look a certain way. And that's what they're promoting, is that if you fix how you look, emphasis on fix, that you have to fix something. If you fix how you look, your life will change. That's what they're promoting, and that's dangerous. That means people only focus on their physical appearance and changing that when they really don't have to, right? Look how you were designed to look. God made all of us a certain way. He made all of us a certain way. He didn't make you to want to look like somebody else. But that's what's being promoted in this Looksmaxxing community, bro. Like I said, you can tell this is made by incels. It's sad, but it's true. Attraction does matter. I will admit that, but it's not the foundation for complete success, right? You still need social skills. You still need confidence. You still need other things to hard work ethic. You still need stuff like that to end up being as successful as you want. Attraction is not the sole standard for success, bro. So that should not be your main focus in life, is being as attractive as possible, especially through these methods that they're promoting. That should not be what you're thinking about. So really, all in all, bro, Looksmaxxing takes something that should be healthy and should be considered good for us, like self-improvement, and it turns it into something that's unhealthy and toxic and just really damaging to the lives of young people, bro. Because it's really only the young crowd engaging in this mostly, right? Of course. And it's just dangerous. Looksmaxxing, the whole idea of it is just dangerous for young people. It really is. So, if you have been engaging with Looksmaxxing or buying into that type of content, stop it, bro. Hit the gym, go for a run, eat healthy, do those things, and then don't think about jawline fillers and drugs and surgeries. Don't think about that. That should not be your method to get attractive and to look like somebody else. So look in my life, please, and improve your life in a healthy way. Stop messing with them Looksmaxxing boys, bro. Please. They are not who you should be involving yourself with. They're really not. That's my rant for today, y'all. Smiley out.